Hey up guys, how are you doing today? How are you feeling? Are you alright? Just thought I'd ask because it's important in today's day and age to ask how people are, definitely. So this weekend has been an absolutely gloomy, horrible weathered weekend where it looks like it's night time all the time. So I just thought I'd have a sit down and have a chat with you about the stuff that I'm planning to do with either of the cars, either of the Civics, and stuff about this year really. Like what's the approach? Because I've never really thought about it. Sorry, I had to stop this video and then restart it later on and it's got a lot darker. So yeah, let's start with the cars then. So basically, let's talk about the diesel first, because a lot of people, even though the channel started pretty much with the Type R, a lot of people are keen to know about things with the diesel, even though a lot of it's interchangeable, other than the fact that the one's got 5 doors and one's got 3 doors, and the engine obviously. But mainly with the diesel, it's going to be just things that need fixing on it. Like we've already done the boot leak, so that's been done. Track rod end, which I'm going to do the other side, so they've both got the same manufactured track rod ends, because even though it's track straight, my steering wheel's still like that, so that needs sorting out, and maybe having them both exactly the same might help. I'll take it somewhere to get done. All the tyres deflate at different speeds, but they deflate, and that's the annoying thing. I could pump up one side 1 week and then pump up the other side the other week, and then there's one front one that goes down a lot faster than the rest, and it's like I'm guessing either they've all got some kind of really slow puncture or they've not been fitted correctly and they're all leaking air, or it's something to do with the valves. I'm going to take it to a tyre shop and say, listen, just check all 4 wheels, and if you can see what's wrong, just sort them out. If they're all buggered, then I'll just get 4 cheap tyres. I'm not bothered if they're branded on that car. Other than that, that car is what it is. I'm not keen on modifying it when I've got a project car. God, that still feels weird saying that. I've got a project car that there's so much more of a level I can still get to with that. So I wouldn't want to waste money on trying to make the daily compete with the Type R, if you get what I mean. I don't need it to be fast. I need it to not leak, demist properly, and steering wheel be straight and all the tyres stay up and be reliable. That's all I need. Another thing, I've got all the stuff to service that. So servicing that car will be slightly different to the Type R, because one, they don't have spark plugs, they have glow plugs instead, which is something I've only just learned really. But I'm probably not going to cover that, because one, glow plugs are a lot more expensive, and two, they don't need changing as often at all. But there is like a different filter as well in there that needs changing compared to the petrol car. So we might do a servicing video on the diesel for people that have got a 2.2 instead. Bodywork, I don't care. It is proper peeling, right bad. It's going to get to a point where I'm just going to class the bonnet as satin red, because all of the lacquer will be off. It's all coming off. I'm not doing it, it's just doing it itself. So yeah, we'll leave that, unless I'm selling it, which I don't know the future of that car. I don't know how long we're going to have it, whether it'll end up getting rid of at some point or it'll be a different daily car, I don't know, or we'll keep it, I don't know. But moving on to the Type R. Now obviously that boot leak needs sorting in that as well, like we've done on the diesel. Proper tracking, that's something I'm definitely going to get done when all this lockdown stuff's over. I'm going to take it up to, I want to take it up to Area Motorsport. I haven't contacted them yet, but with everything going off, there's literally no point in me trying to get there. I also want to do the, what's it called now? Is it valve spacing? It's a service point thing that needs doing. I forgot what it's called. It's something that does need doing at a certain point, and my car hasn't had it done. And I know that Honda HQ do that. It's like making sure that the timings and the spacing's all correct. But I've just, in this very moment, I completely forgot what it's called. You'll know what it is. You don't need to tell me, because by the time I finish this video and start editing it, I'll know what it is. But yeah, you know what I mean. Another plan I really want to do, and I've got everything for it as well, is I've got rear, which I found on eBay with a company that does caliper restoration, and I've got the front ones from Tegua, caliper restoration kit. I want to do that on all 4 corners on the Type R, and I've also got spray paint and white decals for the Type R sections for front and rear on the calipers. So I want to do a full restoration of the caliper so that it doesn't stick, and completely respray them. So it'll probably be red then the white decal, and then some nice clear coat over it, and I think they'll look spot on. Other thing I've had for ages, it must be like nearly 2 or 3 years now, that I've just never got around to doing, is polybush inserts for the engine mounts. I've had them for absolutely ages. I'm insured to have them on, so well, I still haven't done it, so that's something that needs doing. So hopefully that will help with keeping the engine a bit more sturdy from the engine running itself, and from helping with gear changes, because then the engine's not lurching through putting clutch in, changing revs, all that kind of stuff, and keeping everything steady, thus helping with gear changes. So up to now, they're the definites that I'd like to sort with the car this year. Other contemplating possibilities of things that, like, you always do shopping, don't you? You always do look about, spend 15 minutes looking on a site, looking through absolutely everything they've got, just because you want to think, God, if I could have everything from here, what would I have? And I know it needs a fuel rail. It's still got the standard fuel rail on it, but I really like the K-Tune, nearly said H-Tune. The K-Tune one. I know it also needs some like engine bay dress up bolts and washers, because it's got either clips or like dress up bolts with plain washers, some of them at the minute, which Brett kindly let me use for now when we went up to it to do the rocker cover fitting. Another thing that I've just heard amazing things about is the Marlin ECU, which is by Paul West, I believe, who a lot of people associate with TDI North, and it's basically an out of the box ECU where there's stage 1 for FN2 specific. I think it's like double check, so I don't know if I'm 100% correct, but I think it's with intake and exhaust, catback exhaust, and then there's stage 2 where you've got a manifold, an exhaust manifold involved. So the thing I have in my head is I like to be able to drive into an MOT centre anywhere and it just pass. So sorry, I've just brought the phone light in a bit because I've realised how dark it is on that footage. Yeah, so the thing I'm caught between is either getting an exhaust manifold where the cat's swappable, so I can have a D-cap pipe, which is probably cheaper as well, and then for MOTs, obviously it's a bit more messing about though, that I'd just put my cat back in, or I'd get one where I can put in a sports cat, it's like a high flow cat, and then I know that I can leave it, and fingers crossed that that'll pass fine. Only complication being, will it still be compatible with that stage 2 map with having a sports cat rather than a D cat? I don't know, something to look into and to ask people about. But like I've said, like that's like, obviously all these things cost money, so that's like aims to go for things like that. Plus I know one of my front tyres is getting quite low, especially how I got stuck in the snow the other day, so tyres are going to be another thing I need to look at. But moving away from the cars themselves, let's talk about, and you can comment about this if you want to in the comment, things you're looking forward to doing with the cars, that are activities that after all this is done, be it be meets, drives, shows, just meeting up with your normal car mates and just going for a coffee or something. I love the cars and coffee, I can't wait for that. I think on the bucket list for this year, for me personally, I'd like to at least get to one car show, like top, like proper reaching. I'd love to go to one where I could probably camp over 1 or 2 nights, because I really miss that kind of environment and that kind of escapism that brings. But I'd love to get to a cars and coffee. I'd love to go to Caffeine and Machine again this year, but I really want to go on one of the mornings where they have the cars and coffee there, because I just think that's such an awesome place. I've been a couple of times, but they've either been where it's really bad weather and they've not really had an event on, or it was in an evening, but the coffee and the food's banging. Plus you can stay there, which is even more awesome. But yeah, car wise, I think that's what I'm looking forward to, things to do with that. But talking about activities, I think it's a good idea, and I'm just going to put it forward in case it's something you might want to consider doing. I'm going to write a list of things that I've really missed doing in this time, things that I'd normally take for granted, and we all take things for granted unknowingly, not being selfish, just and unappreciative. It's just things that we're used to, and things like having a mate round and having a brew, having a cup of tea, like going mountain bike riding somewhere. Like there's a place near me called Lady Bower Dam, and it's like a massive lake basically, and you can ride around there. I went around there on my own when it was okay to last year, and in the summer, and it was just beautiful. And first thing you think is like, I want my mates to experience this with me, but they can't. So that's like, I don't want to come out of this and be like, right, everything's back to normal and I forgot about all these things I really missed. So I'm going to make a list beforehand, so that when I come out of it, I'm going to be like, this is my appreciation list of goals, of things to do, to tick off, like a post-pandemic bucket list kind of thing. And I'm really excited for that. I'm really excited to eventually go through those things and spend time with friends and family, and just exhausted and ready for it all now. Other than everything that I've mentioned, there is something massive happening that I can't tell you about yet. I'm excited to tell you about it, but it's not the right time. So just wait for that. But yeah, it's big. It's very big. So I'm sorry if this was either a long video and I've rambled for ages, or a really short video of me just talking. But if you got to this point, then thank you for sticking with me and just listening to me go on and pretty much state and vent and get out in the open all the stuff that I've had in my head for the past year. Good luck to everybody else into this year. Hopefully it's a good one for everybody, and you accomplish even more than you managed to accomplish in the last difficult year that we've just had. If you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed any of my other videos, like we just fixed when we fixed the boot leaks on one of the cars recently, I know a lot of people appreciated that being quite helpful information. Like and subscribe to the channel. Click the little bell button so it reminds you when a fresh video comes on. I'm also on Twitch now, like I keep mentioning, where I'll play some games in my downtime, so that's another place you can chill out with me, where it can be live chat and you're not sat just watching me on a YouTube video. So yeah, until next time guys, keep safe, look after each other, try and be kind and understanding, and until next time, like I always say, I enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.